Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review and a little demo on the new Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette. My shade is in 002 Glitz. There is also another one called 001 Universal, but for some reason I bought this one and not that one. I'm not too up to date with my whole Backstage collection, like what is new, is that an older one and is this a newer one? I really don't know. But all I know is that the difference between that one and this one is that that one has got slightly deeper shades. Well, there's like a white one and a peachy, a pinkish blushy shade and a very deeper kind of bronzy shade. This one is definitely a palette that I say would go well with a lot of skin tones, fair, medium and deep skin tones as well. It's just down to what your personal preference will be. This retails at £34. I bought mine from Debenhams, but I got mine on like a 15% off day. Debenhams are doing everything that they can to keep their company out of administration. So for anybody that has ever actually bothered to spend full price on a product that's sold by Debenhams, don't waste your money. These things, I actually got this when it was still brand new. It only been out for like 2 days and it was 15% off, so just saying. So it just comes in a standard cardboard box such as this, and it just tells you on the back what this contains. It says that Dior has created its first professional makeup line, a collection of makeup artist essentials, blah blah blah. The Glow Face palette is the Dior makeup artist's secret weapon to add instant radiance to any look, from a natural healthy glow to an intense luminosity. This kit contains 4 ultra luminizing shades. Apply with fingers or a brush. You know, I'll be applying with a brush. I'm just going to quickly read what it says off of whatever website has just showed it to me first on Google. It says that the Glow Face Palette number 2 Glitz, which is what this is called, sculpts the face with a light and reveals all the power of its glow. Ooh. This new harmony of 4 original shades suits every style and skin tone. A delicately shimmering peach, which is this one here. A bronze, which is that one in the corner with holographic accents, a gold, which is this one in the corner up the top, and a pearly white with maxi glitter. That would be the other one at the top. So basically, from what I'm gathering, again, not knowing much about these kind of palettes, the top 2 are called Glitter Strobe and the bottom 2 have just got standard names. Now, from what I'm gathering from this, these bottom 2 are supposed to be more like kind of blush sort of shades, not technically highlighters, and then the top 2 are supposed to be very glittery highlighters. Not saying that you can't use the bottom 2 as highlighters, but obviously you can see that this bronze shade here would be way too dark for me to use as a highlighter. So therefore it's their way of saying, well, if you can't use it as a highlighter, you can use it as a blush. However, it's not a matte blush. It has got the kind of texture which is like a metallic sort of sheen. I tend to not really use shimmery blushes generally. Even if I do have any, they've only got a slight bit of shimmer. Shimmer tends to accentuate pores, accentuate texture, accentuate fine lines, that sort of thing. I've got textured skin, so I generally tend to stay away from shimmery blushes and just prefer to stick to more shimmery sort of highlighters. So just to show it to you up close, this one here is called Glitter Strobe Gold. The one next to it is called Glitter Strobe Pink Gold. And then that one's called Peach and that one is called Bronze. That's just to kind of let you know which ones are glittery and what is not. Comes in the standard kind of plastic Dior packaging that we're used to seeing. Very sleek, simple and straightforward. They definitely don't waste space when it comes to their packages. They like to pretty much use up the entire space, which I think is pretty good. Now, in terms of the texture and quality of these, I think they're okay. I would not say that they are the best highlighters on the market. I personally give this around an 8 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10, purely because I don't really like highlighters which have got too much glitter in them. I find that the bottom 2 definitely perform a lot better. In terms of texture, the colour is a lot more opaque. I find the highlighters to be a lot more sheer, and therefore there's a lot more glitter in it rather than actual pigment. Therefore you've got to kind of layer it quite a lot in order for the colour to sort of show up on your skin. And I've got medium skin tone. At the moment I'm definitely starting to tan, because even the foundation I'm wearing right now I feel is gotten a little bit light for me, whereas last week it wasn't. In their Backstage range of foundations, I generally tend to use the shade 3W. I'd probably say 3W is too light for me now, 4W is too dark for me in general. So I can only really use their foundations in the winter, which obviously is not right now. I find that the texture to be fairly soft. but it has a slight gritty kind of feel to it. They're definitely not those kind of pigmented, melt into your skin, buttery kind of highlighters, which I absolutely adore. I love those kind of highlighters because a little bit definitely goes a really long way. It sinks into your foundation and therefore it does not accentuate texture and pores and so on. Things like these tend to sit more on top rather than blend into the skin, and therefore it can accentuate texture a lot more. And that is more to do with the two top highlighters. Now the two bottom ones, peach and bronze, have definitely got a slightly different texture. They are a lot more pigmented, they're a lot more opaque. They are definitely not glittery at all. They've got more of a soft metallic sheen, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that they're supposed to be our blusher and our bronzer, but they are not matte at all. So for those of you that have got like amazingly perfect skin, firstly I hate you, and secondly you would absolutely love using these as a blush or a highlighter depending on what your skin tone is like. So first off, I'm going to just demo them on my face for you before I show swatches against my skin, just so you can see what they look like quite thickly applied. I'm going to vary between two brushes that I've got. This is the Morphe M310 large fan brush, and then I've got the Morphe M501 pointed blender brush. I'm going to use this one on my actual face and then this one to highlight my nose and whatnot. I've done the rest of my makeup. The only thing I haven't done is my highlighting. For reference, I'm using this lipstick by Too Faced. It's from their Christmas collection. It's one of their melted mattes in the shade Cinnamon Bear. Absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do first, I think, I'm not going to use this bronze shade. It's clearly too deep for my skin tone. So let's use the peach one first, just to see how it applies. They don't kick up too much powder. They just kick up a little bit of powder. So you won't have to worry about like wastage. And then let's just apply it here. This is the peach shade, like I said. And even though I've got medium skin tone and I am starting to get a bit darker, I don't feel that it looks that peach against my skin tone. I actually feel that it looks kind of whitish. What do you guys think? I'm not getting peach from this at all. I'm just getting white. But it's not glittery. That does make me wonder what would happen if I put the bronze one on. Shall we see? Let's try. Just for the hell of it. Okay. Deepened it slightly. That hasn't got a mirror on it. Look at me going like that to get up close. Let me use a mirror. Something that has got a mirror. Okay. Look at how brown it looks on my brush, but on the face, oh, actually, I think I can get away with using this bronze one. Hallelujah. It's not a waste after all. But it definitely is not the same as how it appears in the pan. How weird. I actually think that the bronze one is probably my perfect bronzy sort of shade. Not to say that I can't use the other highlighters. I am going to apply these over the top. We're going full on highlight here today, people. I'm here to do a review. That means you're getting all these shades on my face. Even if I'm not going out like this. Well, I am. But for purposes of reviews, I always tend to go a little bit overboard, just so that you can see it used at its maximum capacity. Okay, let me just use my blush brush just to blend out any harsh lines. Not hating it. Okay, I actually think it looks quite nice. It has accentuated my texture slightly. I used my derma roller the other day, so my face is actually quite dry today. So it's not its usual kind of glowy self, but it is what it is. Alright, what I've done is on this side I've just applied bronze, and it is definitely giving me a little bit of a sheen, but I would say on its own, no, it is too dark for my skin tone to use as a more obvious highlighter, if that makes sense. Quite subtle on me because it is only a shade or two darker than my natural skin tone. So that's why it looks alright on that side, because I've mixed it with the peach. But on its own, not quite so well. Maybe as the months go on and my skin gets more dark, and I am going to South Korea, like I mentioned to you guys, next month, so my tan is going to, you know, start to really show itself because it's very hot out there in the summer. Let me just add the peach to it now because it don't look right like this. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to go over the top with, I believe, Glitter Strobe Gold. I think I'm going to use the pink to highlight my nose and stuff, just because using 4 shades on my face is not going to really show you guys how it looks properly, because they're all going to be blended together. But now I want to add the kind of glitter topper just to see how this works. These ones are definitely a bit more powdery, I've noticed. Like already the Dior symbol has disappeared. Okay. Let's see here. Woo! Look at that. That just suddenly just like, wow. That is pretty intense. Pretty intense. Even if you were to ignore the fact that I've got 2 highlighters on underneath it, no, on its own, this is glittery highlight to the max. Very glittery. It's almost got a wet look to it. I quite like highlighters that have got that kind of wet look, because my foundation is obviously very, very matte looking. It's not a matte foundation, but I put so much powder on that I look matte and my skin's dry, like I said. But wow, I quite like that actually. Still keeping it at 8 out of 10 for the reasons I've already given, but a very wet look, glittery kind of highlighter. Let me just blend it out again, just so that there's no extra product of blush on this, by the way. It's just so that there are no harsh lines. And yes, it does accentuate texture, because I can see a definite bit of texture there, but it's not too bad. It's not too overly offensive. I would expect, you know, for it to be Dior, it is luxury makeup, that you can't be completely devoid of quality. I think we're going to leave that as that is, because that is just like, wow. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to use the Glitter Strobe Pink Gold, and I'm going to highlight my nose. I've already contoured it, and let's see how that looks. Woohoo! Only needed a little bit of that. Okay, that's enough. More than enough. Thank you very much. I would definitely say that I prefer the gold shade over the pink, because I have obviously got warm undertones to my skin. But the pink one shows up quite a lot as well. Oh, there's too much there. Too much. So it just goes to show a little bit goes a really long way with the top glitter strobe shades, because they're definitely stroby, if that's a word. Let's just add some here for the hell of it, just make more glitter. But yeah, there we go. I think that's more than enough in terms of highlighting for today. We have definitely gone overboard, but I like how it feels. It's got a softish sort of texture. The top bits do have a slightly gritty texture to it, but that's not something that's translated onto the skin, and it's not anything that affects the way that it applies or anything like that. It's just however they've done it. Like I said, they feel differently from the top to the bottom. Let me just show you some up close swatches now. So here we go. Here is all 3 of them. There's the Glitter Strobe Gold shade. There is the Glitter Strobe Pink Gold, Peach and Bronze. Here you can now very clearly see that these 2 are more sheer than those 2. There's definitely a lot of glitter in them, where these have got more of a soft metallic sort of sheen, but still very intense to use. These work great on top of these if you want that really big kind of oomph of a highlight to the skin. Otherwise, these used on their own will give you a really nice subtle highlight, but one that is buildable too. I mean, between you and me, I'm not sure if I would call this something that is a must-have. I think it's a nice to have, but there are definitely highlighters that are better quality out there. I mean, because it's got the whole Dior brand name against it, you know, people are like, woo, it's Dior, yeah, whatever. I think that it's nice, it's okay. I would definitely not use either of these as blushes. They're just a bit too metallic, and even if you have got perfect skin, even still, the peach one would not show up as a blush on your medium toned skin. It would almost look ashy if you were to use it as a blush shade. It would work well nicely as a highlighter. The only one that would work well if you've got perfect skin again, and if you have medium to deep skin tone, would be the bronze one. The rest are only to be used as highlighters really, and if you've got deep skin, you could definitely get away with using this one as a highlighter as well. But then the others would kind of be defunct, because they're so light, and if you've got really deep skin, a lot of them would look kind of ashy and just like you've got bits of glitter on your face. It just wouldn't work so well. Also, the fact that it does accentuate texture, in particular the glitter strobe shades, is a little bit of a no-no for somebody like me. That's not to say that I will not get good use out of this. I will, but I'm just obviously letting you guys know in terms of how I view it. So that's it for my review of the Dior Backstage Glow Face Palette in the shade 002 Glitz. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you're interested in buying it, if you're not, if you have the universal one, do you think that one is better, or you just think they're just like hyped up because they're Dior? Let me know below. Other than that, I hope you guys are wonderful and great. If you're wondering where the villains, the Disney villain, I think I would make a really good female Disney villain, or like a female Bond villain. I think I've got that kind of face. What do you guys think? This is from Zara anyway, just to let you know. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.